With Greyhawk coming back as the featured setting in the new Dungeon Master's Guide 2024, my thoughts immediately turned to Joseph Bloch at the Greyhawk Grognard, who I've interviewed and spoke to. And sure enough, he's done some supplements on DM's Guild, and he's allowed me to take a look at what he's released. The Greyhawk Campaign Guide. I know practically zero about this setting, but it's going to become a whole lot more familiar very soon. So there's Joseph's details. He's one of those guys who's been playing for ages. He has all the original modules, and he knows his stuff about Greyhawk in particular. As I say, I do not. And I am going to go straight to the map at the very end first. So here we have a map of the Flanaess. What's the Flanaess? Not a clue, but I've heard it mentioned. And none of these names ring a bell. The map doesn't mean anything to me, but I believe I saw a video on him talking about how some of these are changed, or some areas of the map have been renamed. But in his product here, we have campaigning in the world of Greyhawk, the flow of history, calendar and seasons, terrain, inhabitants, all different areas, cosmology, and that map. Talks about the setting being first published in 1980, how he loves the setting, and in his home game, he's made his own version of it, I guess. So the theme of Greyhawk is balance, yin and yang, and fate and forces balance out. Mentions Flanaess again, don't know what it is. The Archmage, Maud and Kanan and the Circle of Eight. Okay, I've heard of those. A lot of the main characters we enjoy now come from this setting. Iron League, Sheldamar Valley. The Greyhawk is the name of one of the major cities in the campaign. I didn't know that. Oerth is the planet, and did know that. The Flanaess is the easternmost portion of Oeric, the continent on which the city of Greyhawk can be found. Pronunciations may vary. The land Flanaess. Okay, nice little map. So if you're going to create your own version of this world, he talks about having to ask yourself fundamental questions about what events have shaped your version of the world. And he gives you a good overhaul of the history that has been in print so far. Technology. On the one hand, the remnants of what modern day people would recognise as high technology exist. So they have some sort of constructs here which look damn cool. History of the Flanaess itself. As I say, from someone who is well versed in it. Timeline of history. Oh, this is some work right here. So if you really want to get deep, the days of the week have different names, and I guess the months do too. Greyhawk has 2 moons. The seasons. Whoa, a lot of different names. That's an old schooler right there. This is going properly deep dive. The weather, terrain, oceans. Yeah, as someone from 5e, this looks too deep for me, and I don't have interest in the politics of places, but for those who do and are much more Greyhawk invested, I think this is very well researched by the looks of this. The politics, if you're going to go that deep, then this is a good resource. But this is exactly the sort of thing that I generally skip. Nice art along the way though. Have a null kind of guy here. Tribe names, species, and how many warriors are in that tribe. That could be very useful. That's the sort of thing that I have needed in the past, to be fair. So the lands and the cities, population, races and alignments are very much the meat and potatoes of this document. And yes, it says it here really, intrigues and petty plots between the rulers of this land are commonplace. And that's when you'd use something like this to know who's in alignment with who, how many people are in that civilization. And then we're on to the lands, talking about the hills, haunted Tower of Inverness, which module it came from. That's good. And gives you a rundown like the Sword Coast Adventurer's Guide does, but for Greyhawk. Hell furnaces, what adventures to have there. The rivers, wastelands, deserts and swamps. And so yeah, every area seems to have a text box, which is a lot of work. Oh, lovely. Right through to the cosmology. The Feywild does not seem to intersect with the material plane in the vicinity of Oerth or grey space. The elemental planes and para-elemental planes seem to be more strong, if I'm not mistaken. Nice art again. Stars and planets. A world of clouds inhabited by dragons. Very inspirational. Back to that map. So if you want to go deep and have some political statistics, then buy this on DM's Guild now. And check out his channel, it's really useful.